Hello, anybody, somebody, nobody, whoever may never see this. This is Siegfried Alexander Faust, the Whiff, coming back at you with some more Warhammer 40k. Today I'm going to be updating my Tyranid army. Unfortunately, there's a few things. There's something with Eldari Craft World and then the Maliceptors, where I believe the Battlescribe team hasn't updated the Elscribe team, and the Elscribe also had the main person swap out, and the other person's not up to date, and they're like trying to catch up. So, not giving gruff because I'm a dirty leech, but they are not currently able to be coded in Yellow Scribe. So, alas, you can just do some manual workarounds. Boy, they are not able to be Yellow Scribed, so a lot of my army is not yet Yellow Scribed. So, the army list, though, is you're going to have a Vanguard detachment of Jormungandr Tyranids for 1 CP. You're going to have 2 Exocrines. You're going to have 1 Hive Tyrant, 1 3-man no force orc slot of Tyrant Guard, 1 no force orc slot of Zoanthropes, or Zoanthrope apparently, 1 Neurothrope, 2 3-man squads of Zoanthropes, a Lictor, and 3 Maliceptors. Now, yes, there was a point hike, but damn it if this just doesn't blast mortal wounds. Oh my god. And the reason I still like the list as it is, I'll get into meow. So this has tunnel networks. So each time a ranged attack targets a monster with this adaptation, which, spoiler, monsters. If the attacker is more than 18 inches away, it has dense cover. And if it's non-monsters, then it's 12 inches away. So you're going to get the benefit of moving your guys, and if they're still outside, then for some reason if they move 4 or 5, then if you're 17.9 away to get your smites off, you're still going to have dense cover against their shooting, which would be quite funny against some armies. Um, and then you also have the Hive Fleet adaptation, hyper adaptation, which I do, to give unfeeling resilience. So basically, they count as double wounds for anything that would. And again, don't trust anything you see here. These are T8, and they have more wounds. For things that will affect the characteristics. I still feel like this is the superior Tyranid list. There are, of course, other ways to run Tyranids. I feel like if you go Endless Swarm unit, you only run one. Endless Swarm's not that great. Uh, it can be good to tie up your opponent's front line faster than they think with really quick moving like Hormigons or something. I respect that. Uh, but I just I think overall it's more of a trap. Uh, and all the monsters that aren't T8 trap. Don't do it. Like Demon Carrion, maybe if you went Stampede, but between Leviathan, I think it was, and Crusher Stampede being banned from match play, or I think just Leviathan. I'm not sure if Crusher Stampede is as well. For its base forms. I feel like this is a substitute that just does just fine. I used to run the dirty Hiveguard spam because they were obnoxiously good. And something that was odd now is that the shooting like faction is kind of like crap. Their bonuses are shite. And Exocrines just got way better in general. So I wish I could run this list with one less Maliceptor and another Exocrine. But the finagling to do so is not worth it. So I think this is overall better way to run the list. If you're looking to you don't like how expensive Maliceptors are, because again they're 220. I get it. Run Exocrines. They're 20 points cheaper, and then you can just have all your other regular Tyranids perform as Tyranids should, and just run up the field. Because Exocrines, they're just so good now. They're so good. Maliceptors are crap unless you do them how I'm doing them, but even then they're so expensive. It's up in the air. I like, again, you could run this different ways, but the 3 Zoanthropes for a guaranteed, if you deal the mortal wounds for a flat 4 mortals, between 4 to 9 mortal wounds per squad is Looney Tunes. And you're like, oh, well, there's so much psychic. That's why you start with the smites on these things, because these guys have a +3. So smite, 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 smite. And they have other abilities too, which will be in the battle scribe that aren't given here. And you can use psychic scream and stuff if you want. Instead, keep the smite low as much as possible. And then these guys will have a smite, and since they have +3, it's not ridiculous that they should make it. Worst case scenario, you could still reroll as well. If you have really shite luck, okay. Because technically, if you rolled what? Yeah, the very first smite in the game. No, if you rolled double ones, it would still fail, I think. Even if you had a boost, I think double ones guaranteed fail. But yeah, 1 and 2, you would succeed for both of these. It's crazy. So is the strongest psychic faction in the game right now, far more than Thousand Sons. And they actually give an opponent's psychers when they're within range -1 to cast. Uh, they're almost better in Grey Knights in that sense because Grey Knights have a +1 deny. So, if you like Mortals, this is the faction to play currently. It slaps in melee. They have some odd bodyguarding with the Tyrant Guard. They can guard the Hive Tyrant. It gets basically Lookout Sir, even though it's really strong. They have bonuses via the Neurothrope, so you can control if you want to blast turn 1 or turn 2. Sorry, round 1 or round 2, depending on the faction you're playing. Highly recommend it. And then Elictor, this I just kind of had the points, and it's the best thing I could do, I felt like. If your opponent has a Servitor squad holding something down, then this actually worked great. It'll tear up the Servitors. You'll do fine. Because the Lictors got far more expensive because they were far more buffed. They're like 3 times as expensive now because they used to be like 23 or 28. Now it's 70. So it's 2.5 times more expensive or so. And don't even get me started on the Death Leaper. My God. Very cool, but kind of overrated. The Death Leaper just has one funny mechanic where it can't be shot. That's the only thing that's really hilarious about it. If you play it in a janky way. If they, for some reason, if you could play Leviathan, then I think Leviathan is for sure superior. Because trans is stupid. But dense cover should make it so you survive round 1 pretty much unscathed between all this, which means round 2 you're really gonna bring the pain. And it's a lot of mortals. So the only faction that would really give this list a lot of trouble is Sisters with Melta spam, and they could just go anti-mortals. Next it would be Grey Knights, I guess. But and then 1 or 2 other Custodes with Emperor's Chosen, and I think there's one for combo and stuff you can do with. If you get you wouldn't do that. Maybe Black Templar as well, but that's about it. And realistically, it's just Sisters, Grey Knights, and Emperor's Chosen Custodes, which for apparently a reason a lot of people are swearing to me. More people are not running Emperor's Chosen. They're running other things like Shadow Keepers. Hey, old Shadow Keepers was great, but you guys are crazy. Emperor's Chosen is where it's at because of shit like this. Without further ado, if you have any recommendations, requests, complaints, compliments, advice, you just want to have a good discussion, comment down below, like, share, subscribe if you can. I mean, you can. It's just, if you're actually going to get off your lazy ass and do it. I don't give a fuck. And yeah, I have the Battlescribe list in the text box along with my stream information for Twitch if you want to jump on by. I am still fixing a chat issue that I'm being lazy about. Boy, in the next couple days, I should have that working. And I'm expecting the next couple days, I will have all of the Xeno armies updated and all of the Imperium armies good. And then I'll just be waiting on Chaos Space Marines to get updated for Battlescribe and Wahapedia and Yellowscribe. And if they are updated on some of those things, like if I can verify the information on Yellow, not Yellow, on Waha, but Battlescribe isn't up to date, or Yellowscribe isn't up to date more so, any combination thereof, as long as I can verify it some way between Battlescribe and Waha, I'll still do the videos. Just like I'm doing right now with the Tyranids, so I can get the information out there on what's a good army. And it's just waiting on other people to update it. The first time I did an army on here, I didn't even know about Yellowscribe. And I just went through model by model unit by unit, doing all their characteristics, so I could just play the game still because I was that like driven to play the game. And you know what? You can play. You can still play just fine. It just takes longer. And Yellow Scribe has a lot of benefits between separating models based on coherent and tracking coherency, and bringing up all their data sheet information for you and your opponent. Makes it easier for playing honestly. They have aura rings, and there has been many a game where it's like I could just inch in something into objective and provide its aura, or barely squeeze in an aura, or I didn't realize, hey, I'm going to be out of aura range. I need to go back. So it saves so much time. That's one of the things that makes TTS, besides it being basically free, far superior to IRL, is actually having all that stuff automated. So you just save so much time on measurements. If you have two skill players, you go far faster than IRL. With still being like getting 100% accuracy, as if you used tape measures, lasers, and string. Because otherwise they usually just eye it up, and you can eye it up on here, but this gives you 100% accuracy far faster. Without further ado, feel free to check back later. I'm going to have other stuff updated, and I hope you enjoyed the content. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.